Hello, my friends. Jenny Hahn here. I want to share with you today a little more of a deep dive into the wisdom of the shadow, the new oracle deck that was created by myself and my soul sister Jessica Ricchetti. This deck, we just released it this year, and it utilizes 20 years worth of my own personal process art. And so I want to go a little deeper into one of the cards today. This oracle is a 44 card set, and it comes with a guidebook that is beautifully written by Jessica. And yeah, it really goes into a lot of depth with each of these core essences. And like I said, the artwork is very vibrant, very raw, very real, and very accessible. There's a misconception about shadow work, that the shadow is somehow bad or evil, or and our shadow side is none of that. It is really just the unexplored, yet to be discovered, yet to be integrated parts of ourselves. So that part within you, it's just wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard, wanting to be integrated, maybe wanting to be explored. And it might be parts that aren't always deemed acceptable, or that we might have squashed or pushed down, covered over, maybe felt we weren't good enough, maybe felt they were too much. And so this is an invitation to step into those parts of ourselves, and also those experiences or emotions that might be difficult, or that are not always easy to explore. So this is a great tool for that. I have already pulled a card here, and what I'd like to share today is the card Resilience. And this painting is actually called Healing Heart. This is a painting that I had done in, I want to say, around 2012 or so, 2013. I was going through the ending of a relationship, and I was doing a lot of kind of energy work. There was a friend of mine who was a healer that was kind of working with me, and she literally would do this work in my studio, and then I would go to paint after just my regular paint day, and this painting is what emerged. And it's really a kind of a breaking open, if you will. There's kind of a hardening that can happen in our hearts when something is difficult, or just the armoring that we go through in life, right? And sometimes it takes those big shifts, and maybe it's a loss, maybe it's something, heavy grief. Maybe it's just a change, but something that breaks us open, that breaks our hearts open, and allows that light to shine through, to kind of pour over, to wash over us. And one thing I love about this image is that it almost looks like a magnetic, like the poles of a magnet, and this energy that's kind of circling around. And so the heart itself, it's like the crumbling of what we were holding on to, what was holding us back, what was keeping us small and hardened, and then opening to something even bigger. I think of I think there's a Leonard Cohen song that says, cracks everywhere, that's how the light gets in. And so when you're feeling that your heart is cracking open, it's such a raw and tender and vulnerable experience, and yet that it can open us to so much more, to new levels of love and life and just aliveness. When I see this image now, I think of the Buddhist concept of bodhicitta, which is like the softening of the heart that the practices of love and compassion can do. It's like when our heart breaks open, and it like breaks us even to a bigger place of when we see and witness the tragedies of the world, and then it's like, can I soften into even this? Can I let it break me open to a greater capacity to witness and to hold it all? So I'd love to share a little about what the book says about this card, Resilience. Every card, every core essence has an affirmation and it has some writing on the subject, and then it goes into some contemplations you can take into your journaling practice or meditation time, and then it ends with a ritual, which is a beautiful way to actually like take the word and integrate it in an actual practice in your life. So for resilience, it starts off with, I am resilient, I am buoyant and bounce back. Whatever life hands me, I will be refined by it. And so I'll just skip forward to the contemplations. What have been my most challenging life experiences? And you can take this into journaling time or meditation or use however you want. What have been my most challenging life experiences? The second one, how have I transformed my pain from difficult experiences? And 3, where do I feel not so resilient and desire to strengthen? And so it goes on to share a beautiful ritual, which is to write a resilience reminder from your wisest, most resilient self to the parts of you that might be doubting or feeling not so strong or resilient. And so it guides you to start by closing your eyes, taking some deep breaths, and then remembering a time when you felt like a resilient badass and really feeling into that in your body, like feeling that strength and knowing that sense of power within you. And then opening your eyes and then writing a letter from that part of you to the other parts of yourself, kind of like an empowering, you've got this kind of letter. And then tuck it away and keep that in a place where you will remember for the times when you need it, those challenges that throw you off your center, that test your strength, that test your will and your resolve. Anytime you're needing that resilience reminder, like it is there for you. So remember, my friend, whatever challenges are showing up in your life right now, that you are resilient, that you got this. All right, until next time, my friends.